The It movies stand out as some of the best modern horror films ever made. They are not just about a terrifying clown, they are about fear itself and how it changes as we grow up. The story balances pure horror with real emotion, showing how childhood trauma and friendship shape who we become. Every scene feels alive, from the eerie small town of Derry to the moments of genuine heart between the Losers Club. The performances are incredible, especially the kids, who make you believe every laugh and every scream. And of course, Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise is unforgettable, disturbing, unpredictable, and completely mesmerizing. The It movies mix nostalgia, terror, and emotion in a way few horror films ever do. They remind us that sometimes the scariest monsters are not just the ones hiding in the dark, but the ones we carry inside. If you want horror that actually means something, these films are a must-watch. The movies also do a great job of adapting the Stephen King novel, capturing the heart of his story while making it work for modern audiences. Stephen King is one of the greatest authors of all time, and his world of fear and imagination is not easy to bring to life. Although the films make a few changes, the story is still powerful, emotional, and true to the spirit of the original book. They keep the same mix of childhood innocence and deep, unsettling terror that made the novel so iconic, turning the words into something unforgettable on screen. Whether you are a horror fan or just someone looking for some great movies to watch, the It movies are absolutely worth your time. They are thrilling, emotional, and packed with unforgettable moments that stay with you long after the credits roll. Even if you are not usually into horror, the story and characters are strong enough to pull you in and make you care. The It movies are not just scary, they are powerful stories about fear, friendship, and growing up, and that is what makes them truly special. The prequel series, Welcome to Derry, looks fantastic as well. It seems to build on the story from the It movies and dive even deeper into the dark history of Derry. From what has been shown so far, it looks like the series will explore how Pennywise came to be and what kind of evil has haunted the town for generations. It is exciting to see this world expand, giving fans more of the mystery, atmosphere, and chilling tension that made the movie so great. If done right, Welcome to Derry could be one of the best horror shows ever made. The It movies are way better than Sword Art Online, and it's not even close. Sword Art Online is boring, bland, and painfully overrated. The writing feels lazy, the characters have no real depth, and the story falls apart the moment you start thinking about it. It tries to act deep and emotional, but it just ends up feeling fake and predictable. The It movies, on the other hand, actually have heart, tension, and storytelling that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Where Sword Art Online fails to make you care, It pulls you in completely, proving what real storytelling looks like. The characters in the It movies are much better written than the ones in Sword Art Online. They feel real, with genuine flaws, fears, and struggles that make you care about what happens to them. They actually grow as people and have to face their own weaknesses to survive. In Sword Art Online, the main character never really struggles. Everything just seems to work out for him no matter what. There is no tension, no real growth, and no reason to root for him. The It movies show what good character writing looks like, while Sword Art Online shows how shallow things get. When the hero is never challenged, the It movies keep you on the edge of your seat, excited to see what happens next. Every scene has tension, emotion, and something that pulls you deeper into the story. Sword Art Online is a total snooze fest. You do not care about what is happening, and most of the time it feels like nothing important ever does. The pacing drags, the dialogue is flat, and the so-called big moments do not land. Honestly, anyone who can sit through the entirety of Sword Art Online without yawning deserves an award, because that takes serious endurance. It is confusing why anyone would choose to watch Sword Art Online when great movies like It exist. With so many better options out there, there's really no reason to pick something boring, poorly written, and predictable over something exciting, emotional, and well-made. Choosing Sword Art Online over the It movies is honestly a mystery. You'd be missing out on real storytelling, real tension, and characters you actually care about. The Sword Art Online fanbase does not take criticism well, and anyone who points out any flaws often gets flooded with defensive or angry comments. To a lot of fans, Sword Art Online is untouchable, like it's the greatest thing ever made and beyond questioning. It is sad and pathetic how protective they are of a show that is so deeply flawed. The fans worship this show like how the ancient Egyptians worshipped Ra or Horus. You would think Sword Art Online was some legendary masterpiece, instead of what it really is, an overrated mess that dumb people treat like sacred art. It is best to skip Sword Art Online altogether and avoid the toxic fanbase. Spend your time watching the It movies instead. Trust me, you will not regret that choice. It's a way better use of your time and sanity. And now, for a little fun, here is a sarcastic parody trailer for It Chapter 2. Afterwards, we can also take a look at some other movies based on novels by Stephen King.
It's been 27 years since the Losers Club first defeated Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now, get ready as it returns to terrorize the town of Derry, Maine once again. Because the first It movie made tons of money and Warner Brothers is desperate for a breakout hit after their other blockbusters all massively underperformed at the box office. Geez, Warner Brothers is having a really rough year. Their only hope is movies starring clowns. From Andy Muschietti, upcoming director of The Flash and Attack on Titan, comes an overly long sequel that's not quite as good as the original, but still floats above most horror sequels and other Stephen King movie adaptations. Watch as the movie spends nearly 3 hours trying to explain its mythology, only for it to still not make much sense in the end. Honestly, I still don't really understand what the ritual of Chud is, and they cut out a bunch of stuff too. Apparently, the first cut of the movie was 4 hours long. Yikes! This movie was boring enough. Just imagine having to sit through that. The cast of young unknown child actors is now gone and replaced with an adult cast made up of mostly famous actors that you all know and love. No wonder this movie's budget was double that of the first It movie. I'm pretty sure most of the money went into the actors' paychecks. They couldn't even afford to hire any extras during all the hotel scenes. Bigger doesn't always mean better, though. Get ready for a movie with major structural problems and uneven pacing that spends the whole first act bringing the Losers Club members back together, only to split them apart for roughly 2 hours as they each go on their own individual side mission to the past to collect their personal artifact. Wait a minute, that kind of sounds like what happened during the time heist in Avengers Endgame. The Losers Club members must all conquer their deepest fears to finally defeat It, once and for all, in a finale that's even trippier than Doctor Strange. And how do they ultimately defeat It? Bullying. Yeah, they literally just insulted It to death. I guess the Losers Club members all became the very thing they swore to destroy. What a totally disappointing and dissatisfying conclusion. Stephen King can't write a good ending to save his life, and he for sure knows it. This movie is so self-aware, they actually had a character who's bad at writing endings to his books, just like Stephen King himself. But don't worry, horror fans, because the only truly scary moments in this movie are the jump scares. Everybody loves jump scares, right? They're totally not the most lazy, cheap, and unimaginative way to frighten the viewer. Pretty much all the other terrifying scenes are undercut by jokes as Warner Brothers tries to copy the Marvel formula once again, even though they failed to do so for the DCEU. How it ends.
Dr. Sleep is the sequel to one of the greatest horror movies ever made, The Shining. There's a lot of unexpected things that happen in the movie, especially towards the conclusion. So in this video, I'll be explaining the ending of Dr. Sleep. I'll also do a quick review of the movie afterwards. So just watch until the end of the video if you want to know my personal thoughts on the movie. This video will contain spoilers for Dr. Sleep, so make sure you watch that movie first before watching this video. Anyways, let's get started. Danny and Abra drive all the way to Colorado and go to the Overlook Hotel. Danny Danny goes inside alone first, and tells Abra to wait inside the car to see when Rose would come. Inside the Overlook Hotel, Danny goes to the bar and meets Lloyd the bartender, who's now Danny's father, Jack Torrance. Danny says that he and his mom moved to Florida afterwards, and his mom died when he was 20 years old. Abra tells Danny that Rose has arrived, so they both head into the Overlook Hotel and wait for her inside. Danny also gets the axe that was stuck to the wall. Rose meets Danny and Abra at the staircase, and Abra traps Rose in the Overlook Hotel's hedge maze inside her mind. Abra manages to cut Rose's leg, and they're almost able to trap her inside the metaphorical box, but Rose breaks free at the last moment. Danny tells Abra to run away and he confronts Rose with the axe. Danny tries to attack Rose, but Rose is able to avoid the attack, and she takes the axe from Danny and nicks an artery in his leg. Rose is about to kill Danny, but Danny unlocks all the metaphorical boxes in his mind, which contain the spirits from the Overlook Hotel. The spirits kill Rose and they possess Danny. Danny then chases Abra around the Overlook Hotel with the axe. Abra enters room 237 to hide from Danny, but Danny later enters the room as well. Danny is about to kill Abra, but Abra tells the spirits possessing Danny that he first entered the boiler room. Danny is able to briefly take control of his body and Abra runs outside. Danny then goes to the boiler room, and we see it get engulfed in flames. Danny sees a vision of his mother, and he also turns into his younger self. The Overlook Hotel burns to the ground and we're not sure if Danny survived or not. Back in Abra's room we see her talking to Danny, so we assume he made it out alive. But it's revealed that Danny had actually died in the fire, and he was simply just there in spirit. The movie ends with Abra going into the bathroom after seeing an old woman in the bathtub. So that's the ending of Dr. Sleep Explained. Hopefully that was able to clear up all the confusion you might have had about the movie. Now onto the review part. Honestly, I didn't have high expectations for Dr. Sleep, but it turned out to be pretty decent. I thought that Ewan McGregor was fantastic as the lead character, Danny Torrance. Additionally, it was amusing to see Rebecca Ferguson play the villain, because she really doesn't play the antagonist too often. I think the only other movie I've seen Rebecca Ferguson as the villain was The Kid Who Would Be King. The recasted actors were pretty good as well. Obviously, the actors who played the characters in The Shining are either too old or passed away. Moreover, the production designers did an amazing job recreating the Overlook Hotel. It looked exactly like it did in The Shining. I did feel that the movie was a bit too long and dragged on in certain parts, and it had a really slow start. Well, that's it for this video. What did you think of Dr. Sleep? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Pet Sematary is a 2019 American supernatural horror movie. It's based on the novel of the same name by Stephen King. In this video, let's take a look at some Pet Sematary Easter eggs and trivia. The movie takes place in Ludlow, Maine. This is actually a real place. Stephen King's other novel, The Dark Half, is also set in the same place. Even though the movie takes place in Maine, it was actually filmed in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Filming took place from June 18, 2018 to August 11, 2018. The Creed's home address is 664 River Road. This is actually the address of the house Stephen King was living in when he originally wrote the Pet Sematary novel. The house went on sale and could be purchased for $255,000. Stephen King came up with the idea for the Pet Sematary novel when his daughter's cat Smucky was hit by a truck and died. Smucky was then buried in an informal pet cemetery on a hill behind the house. Actress Amy Simons plays Rachel Creed. She was cast in this movie based on her performance in the 2017 movie Alien Covenant. Ellie watches SpongeBob SquarePants on the TV. SpongeBob SquarePants is an American animated television series created by Steven Hillenburg. The episode that Ellie is watching is called Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost. That episode is about Squidward pretending to be a ghost after SpongeBob and Patrick think he's dead. That's quite fitting considering the subject of this movie. The name of the cat in the movie is Church. This is a reference to Winston Churchill. Judd says that he knows Winston Churchill. John Lithgow, the actor who plays Judd, also played Winston Churchill on the web television show The Crown. A total of 5 different cats played Church in the movie. All of them were rescue cats, and they were able to find homes after the movie was done filming. At Ellie's birthday party, you can faintly hear Judd talking about a St. Bernard on a rampage because of its rabies. This is a reference to Cujo, another one of Stephen King's novels. That novel is about a rabid St. Bernard dog. During the dream sequence, Lewis is walking to the forest through a door. This is a reference to The Drawing of Three, the second novel in the Dark Tower series, with Roland traveling to different time periods. The truck driver was calling someone named Sheena. This is a reference to the song Sheena is a Punk Rocker by the punk rock group the Ramones. Ramones also made the song Pet Sematary, which was written for the 1989 Pet Sematary movie. When Rachel is driving back to Ludlow, we can see a traffic sign that says Derry is only 20 miles away. Derry is a fictional town where a lot of Stephen King's novels are set, for example It, Insomnia, and Dreamcatcher. In the movie, Zelda is played by female actress Alyssa Brooke Levine. In the 1989 Pet Sematary movie, Zelda was actually played by a male actor, Andrew Hubicek. Jason Clarke revealed that the scariest scene for him was digging up Ellie's grave. The scene was filmed in a real cemetery at 4 a.m. Ellie slashes Judd's Achilles tendon with a scalpel. This is a reference to the 1989 Pet Sematary movie. In that movie, Gage sliced into Judd's Achilles tendon with a scalpel. In the 1989 1989 Pet Sematary movie, Ellie Creed was played by twin girls. In this movie, Gage is played by twin boys, Lucas and Hugo. Andy Muschietti, director of the 2017 movie It, was also interested in directing this movie. The music was composed by Christopher Young. He's well known for scoring horror and thriller movies. However, this is only the second Stephen King movie he has ever worked on. The other one was the 1993 movie The Dark Half. There's many differences between the movie and the novel. For example, in the novel, it's Gage that's killed by the truck, not Ellie. Furthermore, Judd's wife Norma is alive in the novel. However, in the movie, she's dead. Directors Kevin Cloche and Dennis Widmeyer explain why they chose to kill Ellie instead of Gage. They thought that an 8-year-old girl would be more intimidating than a 3-year-old boy. Furthermore, Ellie was able to share quieter moments with other characters before the tragedy. Producer Lorenzo D. Bonaventura has stated that a prequel to the movie is possible if the movie is financially successful. He said that they purposefully did not cover all the stuff that happens before the Creed family moves in, and he hopes to make a movie about that. Jason Clarke and John Lithgow have both been in Planet of the Apes movies. Jason Clarke was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and John Lithgow was in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Well, that's it for this video. What did you think of Pet Sematary? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Also, let me know which is your favorite Stephen King movie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications for my channel so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.